It's been a busy week in the green room this week. It's Ryan with QLZ. We are talking to Max and Anastasia. They're in a band called The Haunt that you hear a little bit here on QLZ. How you both doing?
Doing great. How are you?
Good, and appreciate you. I don't know. Get it out of the way now, Anastasia. There you go.
Yeah,
everybody can hear you clearly now. Get on out of the way. So we added you all to a show last week called New on Q. It's our Saturday Night Music show. We have you in there. Spotlight feature tomorrow. A little bit what we're doing with the song, and you guys just played out in Vegas, a conference for a whole bunch of people in radio. I told you I talked to Brendan from the Nocturnal Affair yesterday, and just kind of how it was to perform out for a radio conference for a bunch of people. How was it for both of you?
We had a lot of fun doing it. You know, we were kind of told going into it that the energy might be, a little harsher, this or that. And honestly, it was a great vibe. We were, we just kind of went up there and we did what we normally do and had a good time, and seemed like everybody responded pretty well to it. So we're super grateful about that. But yeah, I mean, I think it went super well. Yeah.
And Masochistic Lovers is the track from both of you right now. It's the one that's on the radio. Craig Mabbitt from Escape the Fate is on it. Now, was Vegas the first time he had played this with you, or was there a time before that he had jumped up with you guys?
No, that was the first time. So that was also super exciting to get to perform that with him. We practiced like that morning for the first time. So yeah, that was super sick.
Yeah. Now I interviewed him years ago at a festival called Rock USA when I was living in Wisconsin. And I knew a little bit about Escape the Fate, listened to their music a little bit, didn't know really a whole lot about Craig. I was blown away after talking with him, just how cool of a person he is, how laid back of a guy he is, how down to earth he is. What was it like working with him just on this track, and how did it come about working with him on this song?
So our producer on the track, Kevin Thrasher, used to be the guitarist in Escape the Fate in the iteration that Craig was in. And we had kind of tossed around the idea, and then it kind of just ended up like coming together. We have the same lawyer, and we also have the same producer, and we were like, okay, this could be a cool idea. We just sent over a song that we were thinking like we would really love to hear, somebody on this. And then he was like, oh my God, I love the track. Sent back his vocals on it. And honestly, we hadn't met face to face until we went in to record the music video, which we flew out to Phoenix to record the music video. And I don't know if you've seen it. We were in like an office space, and that's kind of the first, we met him in a business setting for the first time.
Yeah. All suit and tied.
Yeah, it was great. He brought his kid, and we kind of had it was
a great day. It was the Lionsgate.
While we were filming it, we
were all spiritually aligned.
Little meditation break in the middle there.
So I think we really manifested this one.
Yeah.
Okay. You got somebody drag racing?
Yeah. It's Fast and Furious.
I know you're both. That happened pretty often. Is there a whole bunch of?
Yes, there's a lot of fuck shit that goes on over here.
We're on this we're on this straightaway. And so it's like cars just go as fast as they can. No cops are ever on this road. Yeah. So it's just a straightaway with probably about a mile of just straight road, and they go 100 miles an hour. Whatever sports car comes in Florida, so everybody's got sports cars. Yeah. And they're going as fast as they can, and then they're doing donuts right outside of where we live. Yeah, we see the tire marks all the time. That's a plane.
Okay, we got a lot going on.
Okay, you got planes. You got planes and everything. Automobiles, trains coming on through. The video for it, I watched it again. I watched it when you guys first released it, and then watched it again a little bit before today, so it's fresh in my mind. How much fun was it to kind of? And I don't want to spoil a ton for people, but how much fun was it to kind of tie Craig up in a bunch of corded phones, which we don't really see anymore at all.
Yeah, I had a great time personally with that, and I was super glad. I had written it down, the whole storyline of the music video, and I wasn't sure because we hadn't met him in person yet, so I was not sure how he was going to feel about that. But thankfully, he was super down and really just fully committed, more than I could have ever expected. Or
there was a chance that we got there because we didn't know Craig super well, that we were we're just filming a video in an office with no killing.
Because we honestly didn't discuss it too much before because he was kind of just down, whatever, just super chill. I'm
glad he meant it because he was super down, and
so
he got
I had a great time with that.
We had to apologize for bloodying him in front of his son, but besides that,
his son was loving it too. He was like.
What was the any specific reason for kind of the office setting? So for me, it reminds me of the movie Office Space a little bit. I don't know how old you two are, if you're familiar with that movie or not. That's kind of the first thing that I thought of being a millennial. was office
Yeah.
space. So kind of what was the reason for the whole office setting of this?
I feel like the song, I just like, it literally says overworked. So like when I was writing the song, although I didn't mean actually office job, because that's obviously the farthest thing from what we do is a 9 to 5. But I just thought that would be like a cool twist on the song lyrically to kind of like make it more of like this like literal thing.
Yeah, and we kind of had, you know, the first video that we put out for the album New Addiction, all the way through to where we are now at Claws. Everything kind of has this vibe of almost this Fight Club-esque vibe where it's somebody who was kind of pushed to the edge and kind of loses their mind, and the videos are a continuous story of that happening to somebody.
Fight Club is a big
reference
for
the office settings and stuff like that. The office scene where he beats himself up was like a kind of big reference for what we were trying to do.
Yeah, and every song on the album so far, it's one consistent storyline that goes throughout the music video. So if you watch them in order, you'll like see how they tie into each other, how one ends and starts, and how they run into each other. So
it's funny because Masochistic is the one, you know, it has almost 5 million views now on YouTube, so it has a lot more than the others. And so we also were kind of in the mindset of like, this needs to be a cool standalone video. So we're kind of simultaneously having to approach everything from that lens of like, there's a decent chance people will only look at this one video at this one time. So we just try to make them as like as cool as we can.
Yeah, you know? It was interesting for us because we usually do like multiple different sets or like scenes, and this is all just shot in this one space, but it's also I feel is our coolest video. Yeah,
it's like one section of one office, and it, you know, it's a modern office. So that was like the only part of the office that had cubicles. We don't do that as much in offices anymore. And so it was like they were about to get rid of them the day we flew in. Then we were like, okay, so
we had to like reinstall some of them.
We had to build them again.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So we were building cubicles. We were, you know, we actually flew in with the corded phone because nobody has that anymore. That doesn't exist. So it's like we were like, you know, flew in with a bunch of the props that we had.
Yeah, and we went to, I can't remember what store was it that was like completely
Office Max,
and they were completely shutting down. So all of the office supplies were like
free, basically.
Yeah.
Oh my
God. So that was convenient.
Yeah,
as well.
couldn't have been better timing, and everything aligned.
I was going to ask you, like Office Max. There was one. I grew up in Ohio, and I'm like, I can't tell you the last time I saw an Office Max. So
we actually have one right by us, and it seems like the one by us is doing well, but I do know like internationally they're not doing so great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you guys got everything you needed. So you mentioned, I know Papa Roach, you know, if their new single right now, it is a to be continued music video on it. And I've always been kind of, I got to remind myself sometimes to go back and follow up when another video comes out, but I do like the storyline aspect of it. So how much fun is it for you two to kind of have, you know, hey, every song on here is kind of sharing a bit more of the story. How much fun has it been to put, I guess, the entire series together of videos as well?
It's really fun.
Yeah, that's like my favorite part of the whole thing. Most of these videos were written when the song was written. So like simultaneously, I am writing the song and also have a vision of exactly what I want it to look like and the storyline that I want it to have. And I think that's like,
I mean, and
really fun,
you know, editing it together and like always going back and taking bits of like because I edit the videos, and so going back and you know, taking bits of, you know, we need a piece of Going Under in the beginning of this video to make this scene make sense, and
and remembering it like while we're filming this video, like the video we just shot one yesterday. While we're filming it, we're like we have to remember what we need to start the next one and like
to transition.
So you definitely have to think ahead with it.
Yeah, and it's fun because we're really just like a 3-man crew. It's me, Anastasia, and our videographer Chris Hill, and that's kind of the only people we have in like any of these circumstances.
Well, we actually just got drums like an hour ago for this music video that's coming out soon.
Really soon.
We just like filmed some drums in our garage. So
yeah, we had to go back. We did a tour where we headlined for about 2 weeks. And then we came home, and then we went to Vegas, and then we came home, and now we're like, oh my God, this song comes out like literally comes out next week. So
stay tuned.
Okay. You said it's the song, a new song, or the video comes out?
The song and the video, both.
Song and the video. Okay. Because I just listened to Claws today too. Okay. Because I just listened to Claws today, so I went and dove into a bunch of the tunes and stuff today from you guys. Wikipedia as well has a list of like how much music the two of you have put out. Like it's wild. So you both have a Wikipedia page. I'm not sure if either one of you are aware of that or not.
We separately have a Wikipedia page? Or together?
For the band in general. Yeah.
Okay.
Band,
Yeah, that was a big moment for us when we got the Wikipedia page.
Okay. Like there's so much music on there from you guys, like from like singles and EPs and everything else. There's just so much. So seems like you've been doing that forever. Do you feel like you're both kind of, you've got to step up on things with how people want stuff? You know, they want stuff now. They want stuff every single month. You know, people want new music. So do you feel like you're a little bit of ahead on kind of the demand when people are looking for music?
Yeah. I mean, I think, you know,
I think your head's cut off.
okay. Let me get low.
Yep.
So
There you go.
I kind of think we've been doing this same release schedule since like 2020, and we honestly did it a different form of it. We had a little bit more space between each single back when we released our first ever EP back in 2017.
Yeah.
Where we did 4 singles and then 2 extra songs on the EP. And that was kind of before everything had fully transitioned into this world where like that is what you kind of have to do. But it's never felt unnatural to us because it's kind of always how we've done it. I think it'll feel more unnatural to us when we're eventually putting out, you know, every artist gets to the phase where you have to release the traditional way. And I think when we get to that phase, that'll feel much weirder to not have every single song get the same level of attention and detail that we have on this. You know, because we do, you know, a lot of people release the same way that we do, but I don't think they spend as much time on the individual assets or anything like that as we do, because we film a music video for every song. And so we have a lot of attachment to the outcomes of like every individual song that we put out. We always joke around like there's no album tracks. You know what I mean? That's just not how we do it. And that's kind of not the world that music is in anymore anyway. So it's like, that's kind of like a forgotten thing. It's like your whole album needs to be, even the biggest bands in the world like 21 Pilots released a music video for every song on the album. And so we've kind of already been doing that. So I honestly think the only thing that would feel unnatural for us is doing it the other way if we eventually have to do that.
Yeah. Are you excited for that though, to put out full albums? Hi, Jay.
Yeah, so this that we're releasing towards right now is a full-length record.
Okay.
But it's you know, we're releasing it kind of the same way that you would release our prior EPs or something like that, or just a series of singles, because that's our game plan. That's the way we run things. But yeah, we're very excited to finally have like a real full-length record out.
And I know coming up for you guys this year as well, you're going back to Download down into the UK, and your first festival. It's not that far from here, Austin. It's about 4.5 hours from Springfield for Louder Than Life. So the excitement to get on that first US festival.
Through the roof.
Yeah, we're so excited. Even the European ones, we've only played Rock for People kind of in the parking lot. So we're so excited to get in there.
Yeah, we were at Download last year, but we didn't play Download.
But we haven't played any of them.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, you didn't play. Okay.
The band that we were on tour with, we were sharing a bus, so we were there, but we were not playing.
Okay.
But, so we're super excited to finally be able to
play the Mudfest.
Play them, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, but Louder Than Life too. The first US festival, you know, that was kind of last minute, and they added another stage at Louder, and we were so excited that they had us be a part of that, and we we've never played a US festival, so it's gonna be really, really cool, and hopefully it's a sign of an introduction to that world for us moving into next year.
Do you know what day you're playing? Because again, I know some of our listeners kind of travel out that way. It's the festival that's closest to us. We got some that are about 4 hours away, 5.5 hours.
Yeah. The Sunday.
So what day are you guys on? Okay.
The Sunday, the last day, we play with the day that Bring Me the Horizon's headlining.
Nice.
Yeah, which we're just so excited. We caught them at Rock for People last year, and the set that they're running right now is just unbelievable.
It's insane.
Are you gonna try to are you able to go for the whole weekend? I guess it depends on touring, what you got going on, but you can try to be
so.
It depends on touring, but our goal would be to be there for the whole weekend. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Very cool. Well, congratulations on that. That's sweet. Again, so if you're our QLZ listeners, Sunday, it's when the Haunt's going to be out there doing their thing. Masochistic Lovers is the new track we've got spinning right now. And both of you are siblings, correct? I did hear that correctly. So how long have you two actually been, I know you said about 2017 you put out an EP, but how long have you two actually been like performing together and working on music together? Was it something that started when you were kids? Yeah,
we started actually playing out when I was around 11, so you were 13?
Yeah, 13, 14.
13, 14 is when we started playing like actual venues with like a drummer. But before that, we were playing open mics together probably when I was like 8, 9. So our whole life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we've kind of been doing it for a while we had you know, there's been periods where it's you know, before we put out our first EP, we were like super excited and we were playing out all the time. We would go, I was in high school, she was in middle school or some elementary school. And like, we would be like, okay, we're going to go, you know, play a Thursday night at Churchill's in Miami, the grimiest bar that like Marilyn Manson used to play. And like,
oh, nice.
We would go play, it's not there anymore, rest in peace. But they, you know, we would go do that on a Thursday, go show up for school. You know, we play at, you know,
6 a.m.
Miami, everything's on Miami time. So we would play at 2 a.m. and then go home, sleep as long as we could, wake up for school 6 a.m. And kind of, you know, we did that through our whole high school life.
We were probably even more rock and roll back then.
Yeah, honestly.
Okay.
And then, yeah. And, but we really waited a while to work, play a lot, figure out really what we wanted to be, how we wanted the sound to be. And we didn't release our first EP until 2017, but we did kind of take a long time on it. I think we started working on it at the end of 2015.
Yeah, that was like the longest.
It took a long time
that we've done.
Yeah, we've gotten it a little more down to a science now.
Yeah, we were kids. We were learning exactly. Yeah.
I'd say so for the amount of music that you have out. Did any teachers, classmates come out to anything when you're both in high school? You're staying out, you know, you're playing super late. Any teachers or classmates come out support both of you for this?
Friends for sure. I don't think teachers.
No, teachers were.
We had one. We had one that would come out to stuff.
Okay.
He was like, a coach would
come
out to stuff.
Yeah.
But
no, teachers were not supportive.
Friends also, like, we didn't have a lot of friends, so we would probably have like one that would come with us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of been that same ordeal. You know, we started the band when we were super young, and it was just the two of us, and then we added more members, and then we had members that were long-standing for a really long time, and they left the group over the past couple of years. And you know, it's kind of been, for a minute, we were like not sure what we were gonna do, how we were gonna overcome that, and now I think we've really like made our way to the other side. I feel like this is the most solid we've ever been, and I think this album has kind of reflected where we are now. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. Now, obviously, you tour together, you're in a band together. Obviously, you're close. So, have you two always been like close as siblings and always want to kind of be around each other, or was there a lot of? Okay.
Yeah, more so when we started music.
That's what we always say. It's like more once we started, but we started like it's way more than half our life. So. Yeah.
It's also like we started at the phase where you start to both become kind of like little young adults. Yep. So it was like when we were kids, you're on a very different, like 3.5 years difference when you're kids is like a really big deal. She was like a baby when I was like in elementary school. You know what I mean? So then, but once she was in middle school and I was in high school, then it's like, okay, we're like getting to the same jokes.
I feel like siblings, we've always been close though. Like we'd always do stuff together. And
yeah, we were never like,
and our family's super close, so it was never like we never hated each other.
There was never anything like that. And
we hate each other sometimes now, but
more now than then. They we kind of run everything the same way that we kind of run everything in our same house. Like everyone who's a part of the team and part of the crew is like family, and like that's kind of just the way that we've always done it. Or it's like if you're part of this group, it's like we want people that care as if it's their own baby. You know what I mean? And so everyone is kind of on the same page with that, and everybody is part of the the Haunt family.
Oh, that's awesome. And it's cool that you two get to do this. You get to travel around the world together, do a whole bunch of things, experience things together. You're working on an album. I ask every band whenever they come on for the first time, some of their favorite no-skip albums. You guys have some of your favorite complete albums. So from start to finish, the records, the albums you put on, that you don't skip anything. When I used to live in Wisconsin, work up there, it used to be a blog post. When I moved here a couple years ago to Springfield, it's like, we'll just start asking bands when we do these interviews. So some of your favorite no-skip records.
That's a great question. I mean, one that immediately pops in my head is Elephant by the White Stripes.
Okay.
I think the self-titled First Royal Blood record and How Did We Get So Dark Royal Blood record are both in that. The new Bring Me the Horizon record.
Oh, facts. Yeah.
Utopia is definitely in there.
Rumors.
Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah, I'm trying to like rack my brain.
We make a lot of really hard rock but a good 50% of the stuff that we listen to also is a little bit more in like I listen to a lot of soft folk music. I think the Lumineers record 3 is one of the best records of the past 20 years. Olivia Rodrigo's record.
Back to Black.
Okay.
Amy Winehouse. Yeah. Nice. What was the one I was just gonna say? It just came to me.
Wait. What were you gonna say?
I don't
wonder if it's
remember.
what I
I
was
don't
gonna
have
say.
my phone because we're doing this interview.
Wait,
on
what
my
were you gonna
phone.
say? Is it what I was gonna say? Is 9 Inch Nails?
Oh, well, Pretty Hate Machine. I love Pretty Hate Machine.
Is that what you were gonna say?
I was gonna say the other one.
Downward Spiral.
Downward Spiral.
Okay.
Yeah. First concert.
We were in the same place, though.
Yeah.
First concert I ever went to was 9 Inch Nails when I was like 13.
Nice.
And I think that kind of changed the trajectory of my life. After that, I saw them on the I forget what the tour's name was, but it was insane for me at 13 years old. And like it was definitely life changing. It kind of like from that point forward was like, okay, I can see why. I never even like really wanted to do music before that point, and I was like, oh, now I get it. And
this is where I want to go with my life.
What'd you say?
I said that's where you figured out that's where you want to go with your life. It's kind of one of those things. We've had a few people like that recently where they're like, I kind of went to this show and this was like, now I know what I want to do with myself. I want to do music.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, one more. American Idiot. American Idiot has to be on.
Yeah. You mentioned something as well, and I was going to let you go after this one, but you mentioned something where you've got the hard-hitting guitar riffs and everything. I think, and I hear that a lot in your music, and I think it's Anastasia's got this voice where like it reminds me of like some of what Flyleaf used to do, and maybe some of just kind of more straight up rock and roll, and then it gets crunchy, it gets hard hitting. So is that something that the both of you want to do? It's very, I think what you put out lately, it's very eclectic from each other. It sounds like what you do, but like Masochistic Lovers to me doesn't remind me of Claws like a whole lot. So is it kind of like what the two of you want to do? It's like, hey, let's kind of take a lot of these influences that we all have and kind of show them all off a little bit.
Yeah. I think Claws, like for us, is like nothing we've ever done.
Yeah, it's a departure for sure.
I think it was really cool to kind of get into that swanky little vibe. We'll probably do it again
because
we had fun with it. But I think for the most part, Masochistic and the rest of the songs on the album is exactly where we want to be and where we've always wanted our sound to be. We've always known how we want it and how heavy we want it, and I think we finally like have
we created the thing that we
we finally nailed it.
We worked with a few producers in the past that have like some that were great, some weren't so great, but a lot of, regardless of if they were great or not great, we really didn't get the end result that we wanted. And then now it kind of feels like between some of the pre-production stuff that we go in with, and then also just our relationship with Kevin and how much he gets what we're trying to accomplish. We knew what we wanted to sound like, and he helped us put pen to paper in a really great way. So, I think the last album that we did, which was like a combination of 2 EPs, Dead on Arrival and Do Not Resuscitate, those were, I produced most of that record, and I think it was a really good exercise for us to figure out all the stuff we want to do. And then this album was us honing in on exactly how to do it. And I think it was, we're super, super proud of what we have now.
That's awesome. So again, a lot of new stuff on the way, a lot of shows on the way. If everybody wants to support you, support the band, socials, website, where can everybody do that? If they want to buy merch from all of you, where can everybody support the band?
So all of our socials are at We Are The Haunts. The website is thehauntband.com. That's got our tour dates on there, our European tour that we just announced, and Louder Than Life, and some more US dates are coming in the near future. And then that's also got our merch store if you want to support us and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Anastasia, Max, thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Masochistic Lovers, they are to Spotlight tomorrow morning, 8:30, new on Q Saturday nights. And appreciate you both being here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.